big of a selection as you will see some of the other places have, like Destination Daytona or the Speedway or some of the other surrounding areas. However, they do have a nice selection of motorcycles.
Piece on your abdomen there. Hummingbird.
It's a beautiful Sportster here, guys.
Oh, it's beautiful. For sure.
Look at all this big striping. Very detailed.
We're gonna have Denise step forward. Make some noise for Denise.
Lots of gold flakes.
Thank you. Brandy, step forward. Make some noise for Brandy and the Dragon.
Go, baby.
Thank you. Have Rosa step forward. Make some noise for Rosa and the Hummingbird. All right, we're gonna cipher right back through. Denise, please step forward. Make some noise for Denise. Step forward, Brandy. Make some noise for Brandy. Rosa, step forward. Make some noise for Rosa. All right, ladies, thank you. Brandy takes the hardware. Goodness gracious.
You can see over here they're gonna have LED lighting, guys. So
Your wife teaching your kids to talk, bro.
that's a very nice example. You're gonna see it's gonna be on air rides.
Step forward. Have Gary step forward. Make some noise for Gary.
This is a lot of work on this Vanderhall.
All right, Gary, step on back.
Let's look at the inside.
Make some noise for Joe.
To me, it's a shame. They should do the Vanderhall rear wheel drive, manual.
All right, guys,
That will give this car so much character.
Today. Make sure to smile real nice for the people. Pictures on the papers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, folks, next time I'll be hollering at people will be about the 5 o'clock hour to get the results for the world famous.
This one, if I'm not mistaken, it has a 1.4 engine from GM. So here is a more than likely CB750 made into a chopper. That's beautiful work. Yep, sure is. Here it is. Actually, this is going to be probably 80, 81 because this is going to be overhead cam. The ones before the 80, they used to be single overhead cam. So I went early this year to Perry, Georgia, and they had a very small selection. But this year, at least for Biketoberfest, they went all out. They have the FTR, which is gonna be based on it's gonna be a water-cooled V-twin engine. Here's another one. It's gonna be the Springfield. Man, that's beautiful. I mean, look at this. It's gonna be like a matte white. This is gonna be a Dark Horse model, 1/16 Thunderstroke. Then we have another one here. This is gonna be another Springfield. This one is gonna have the flakes into the paint job. I mean, that's very nice. Here we have the Dark Horse Roadmaster. We rode this one in Perry, Georgia, and it's honestly a dream to ride. Then probably one of my favorite bikes I've ridden so far is gonna be over here, the Indian Chief. It's gonna have all the classic looks, all the classic lines that you want. It has your lace wheels. It's gonna be single disc, front and back, and then you get that monster 1/16 Thunderstroke engine. Here's another Indian Chief. Here's gonna be more of a cruiser. It's gonna be more of just your riding. Not riding, but your typical, like Monday through Friday riding. Here's the one that you take on like short distance riding. You get your leather saddlebags. You get a windshield. And one thing that you'll notice is this one is gonna come with the 4-inch ride command from Indian. Versus this one, this one is gonna be. There we go. Now it's off. So this one is just gonna come with your 4-inch like speedometer and tachometer. So here we have a Scout. Here's another Scout. This is gonna be bobber. As you can see, it's only gonna have one seat. There's gonna be another bobber here, but this one is gonna have your saddlebags in the back. You're gonna have that rack in the back. And here's another one, another Indian. Here's gonna be another Indian Scout. This one is going to be the 100 horsepower model. So I was not aware that they have so many colors over here. Here's another one. There's going to be, I believe there's going to be a Springfield. So as you can see, you're going to get like that mild 8 bars. So, and then over here we have another Roadmaster. I have to say, although I like that one over there, the dark horse model, this one with the flake paint job, so you can see it's dark and it has like that blue flakes, it actually looks incredible. I didn't know that this was an option, but I will say I would love the dark horse with this paint job. That will make a killer combination. So as I said earlier, we're here at the Indian dealership in Daytona Beach. So they're doing demo rides for Slingshot. If you like, you can do the manual or automatic, sorry, auto drive. Or you can just go ahead and ride any of the Indian models that they have here. They pretty much have the whole lineup, which is nice if you're looking for a new bike, or if you're looking into just, you know, getting into riding or just see what's out there. Here's another Roadmaster. So look at this one. But this one is somebody's personal bike, but you can tell, I mean, beautiful paint job. Look at this nice, like grayish with the custom paint striping up here. I mean, that's very nice. I love the way they did this over here. I mean, it gives the bike a real touch between your floorboards and everything else that you have going on. So I mean, it ties the bike very well together. This one is going to be your Challenger. So you can see you're going to get the same V-twin, but you're going to see over here you're going to have the radiator. Man, this Challenger, if you have not ridden one, I would say you should go ahead and ride it. I would say this motorcycle right here alone is giving Harley a run for their money. It's going to be your bagger motorcycle, and it literally does everything right. Plus you have all that power throughout the power band. So let's go ahead and walk inside. Let's see what else they have over here. Here they have more Slingshots. You're going to see here the 4-cylinder engine. This is going to be basically a 2.0 liter, 203 horsepower, 166 pounds of torque. Sorry, 143 pounds of torque. So that weighs 1,650 pounds. So when you do the math, you're getting about 1 horsepower for every 8 pounds. So you literally have that power to weight ratio. It's going to be incredible. They also have a bunch of Harleys here. I mean, you can see down here, they have a ton of them. I mean, you pick, they have it. I have to say, I've never ridden on one of these, but this is one of the bikes that has always intrigued me. This is going to be a Euro. I wonder if this is going to be the 2-wheel drive version. It sure is. So let's walk around. So this one, I mean, and that's going to be all of them. They all have a sidecar, but this model specifically, if you look down here, it's going to have the U-joint, which is going to go ahead and make it to the other tire, and that's going to go ahead and make it 2-wheel drive. These are Russian motorcycles, so the good thing about having a 2-wheel drive motorcycle is going to be if you're going into the winter, snow, mud, anything like that, you name it, this is going to be able to more than likely get you out of there. So as you can see, it's going to be a single disc in the front, Brembo brakes, and it's almost comical. If you look at the suspension, it's going to be very old school, very rugged. You're going to get the double springs in the front, and then you're going to have a winch here in case you get stuck. But these make very good long distance riding bikes. You have to keep in mind, this is an all Russian design. This is going to be basically a copy of a BMW with the opposed twin engines, or commonly known as the Boxer twin. You're going to see your heads over here, one over here, one over here, and this is going to be completely air cooled. I have to say, I do like the fact that they have the oil filter so high. One funny thing about this bike is going to be the fact that your miles, they're not going to be miles, they're actually going to be in kilometers. So if you see here, it's going to give you the mileage, which is going to be 5,135. But when you look over here at the price tag, it's going to tell you it has 3,190 miles. So again, not sure why they do it that way, given that this is a motorcycle made for the American market, but that's how they do it. Look at your alternator over here. So alternator is going to be over here. From what I understand, these are going to be very easy to pretty much work on motorcycles. So now if you're into trikes, I hate to say this, but Harley, you gotta step aside. 2021 Honda Goldwing. This is gonna be a Tour DCT model. Anything that you know about bikes, anything you know about your DCT model is gonna be correct. It's gonna be extremely reliable. You get a massive, very stable, very massive body. That Goldwing engine has been around for a number of years. It's a very reliable power plant. So here you have it. And they have a number of Goldwings down here, Trikes. And then at the very end, they have a Slingshot. That's more than likely going to be the R. That will be correct. That's the R over here. So, and this is going to be the manual version. I hope to test one later on. And if you don't know anything about Slingshots, I will just put it in one word: go for the manual. Honestly, it's nice and big, as you can see over here. You have room for 2 passengers. You're gonna have storage back here and over there. And if you wanted to, Slingshot came with this. There's gonna be like some bags that you could put here, and you can put over here for extra storage. One thing that's great about this windshield right here, it's gonna give you a lot of wind protection, believe it or not. For 2020 and 2021 moving on, they come with the option of you getting either cool or heater seats. Actually, it's gonna be cool and heated seats. That's about a $1,200 or $1,300 option, but trust me, if you're in Florida like we are, you're gonna need those cool seats, because considering that you don't have any AC or anything like that, that's gonna be great. Here we have more additional models from Indian. I like the way these Slingshots look with the roof. To me, having this almost defeats the whole purpose of you riding this type of vehicle. So as you saw, it's gonna be over here. So you're gonna let this go and it's gonna unlock. Same thing for the back. So you pull it up, there you have it. You have all your room. So I'm trying to see if we find one that's auto drive so I can show you guys how it is inside. But it's basically the same thing. All right, my misconception, guys, I don't know if you guys were the same way, but I honestly thought that the Vanderhall, like the one we have over here, I honestly thought that they were rear wheel drive. I was mistaken. This is a 1.4 front wheel drive engine. So at least for myself, if you look here in terms of lines instead of aesthetics, I have to go ahead and go with the Vanderhall. I mean, if everything flows very nicely, if you ask me, it looks more of a car than anything else. So I mean, I guess maybe that's why I like it. It doesn't look like anything that's pretty much, you know, from Transformers. Then we go over here. This is gonna be the Polaris. This is gonna be the Slingshot R. But the great thing about Slingshots is that they're gonna be rear wheel drive. So whether you're driving a manual or automatic, you're gonna get rear wheel drive, which is gonna be a lot more fun to drive. Here we have the gearbox. So in the automatic modes, you have the option of doing manual mode. So you engage it in drive, and then the way it's gonna work is if you drive it like a typical car. So you drive it like a typical car, if that's what you wanna do. Now, if you wanna do manual, you do manual, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna shift through your paddle shifters here. So you're gonna have 1 and 2 over here on the side. And then they have something that's called Slingshot mode. You press this here, and it's supposed to make the transmission and everything else more responsive. The auto drive is going to be a $2,000 upcharge. So as you can see here, this is going to be $42,299. I personally would just go with the regular automatic one and just call it I'm sorry, manual one, call it a day. It's so much better in terms of riding. Then we have here, this is going to be another Polaris. This is going to be manual, but this one is going to be turbo. So you're going to see it's going to have your intake over here. It's going to go down. The intercooler is going to be down there, and we'll walk around so I can show you. So down here, you're going to see your turbo is going to be over here. So it's going to go basically, so here's your turbo, here's the intake, not the intake, but here's going to be your intercooler. So, I mean, I'm sure this has to be pushing probably close to, if not 300 horsepower, it's got to be fairly close. Then we have another one here. It is going to be a Harley. It has this classic fairing from back in like the 80s. You're gonna get like this round front. So, and here's something that you don't see very often. This is gonna be the Motor Works tilting. So this is a company out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken, And what they do is, all you got to do is you bring in the motorcycle and they put the kit on. And from what I understand, the lean angle on this is going to be way better than your typical Can-Am. As you can see, it's basically leaning. The one thing that you're not going to see with the Can-Am is going to be, the Can-Am is always going to sit straight, versus this one, it's either going to be leaning to the left or to the right. You're not able to lock it in place. So this one here is going to be 20 grand, but the kit alone is going to be worth like $10,000 to $12,000 if I remember correctly. I will have to go back and look. So I mean, right there you're getting your money's worth. So let's go inside and see what else they have going on here today.
I just got my lock.
Right off the bat, so much better. They have AC in here, so this is going to be the Indian dealership. Hi there.
You get a free burger chip?
I did. Thank you. So we're giving out token ships for Biketoberfest 2021. So here is the FTR. This is going to be a 1200cc engine. As I said earlier, you're going to see this is going to be liquid cool. Here's going to be your radiator, which is going to be up here. This is going to be your oil cooling as well. So that's a very nice design, very sleek. This bike over here competes in the flat track series with Harley, and he's doing very well. So they have the whole gamut. If you ask me, between the one that we just saw and this one, they give you like this, which is funny. This over here is going to be, I don't know if you're able to hear it, here's going to be a cover for your tank. So let's say you don't want that look, you could go ahead and swap it out for a different one. As you can see, they're all going to be the same. So I think that's a nice little feature. Maybe not a lot of people like it, but I do, because you're able to customize and not have to, take out the whole bike and, paint the whole tank. So here's additional bikes over here. So here's the Indian Chief Bobber. Man, this is a beautiful bike. I mean, just look at this whole thing. Very slick design. One thing that I like is that you already have the option, if you want to go ahead and put saddlebags, you just have to go ahead and buy them. They're going to be able to go ahead and stick right over here. But this red, I mean, look at this red paint job. I mean, that is one hell of a paint job. And then you get the Indian Chief right here. The logo, this is going to be the Thunderstroke 116. So you're going to get, basically, it's going to be blacked out. So I have to say, I like the fact that they put the license plate here on the side versus your typical right here below your tank. It gives it a more clean look and it's more aesthetic. So here we have a 2015 Indian Chief. This is going to be basically a custom work. Challenger. This one starts at 24,000. They pretty much will start at 24,000 until you start customizing or you want to start adding things. That's when the price starts going up. Here we have the Roadmasters. This is going to be Indian's long distance touring motorcycle. I did a review. I'll put a link on the channel so you can, if you want to see it, it's going to be right there. But that's a great long distance motorcycle right there. The Roadmaster has a very smooth engine. You have low RPM torque, and it literally handles very well. So all this over here is going to be the line of Roadmasters. Out of all the ones that they have here, even though that two-tone looks very nice, this maroon, or like a very dark maroon with the gold flakes or like flake paint, it looks incredible. This one starts at 30,749. This is going to be a little bit cheaper at 32. But if you ask me, I mean, this is just the top of the line here. As you see over here, it's going to give you inlets to allow air to be able to go in. This comes with everything that you can ask for. It's going to be the Indian Ride Command display. It's going to be touchscreen, cruise control. You control your windscreen. So I mean, you name it, you have it. This has the 116 Thunderstroke. So even though it's an extremely heavy motorcycle, you're still going to get a lot of moving power. All right, guys. So that's it from the Indian dealership here in Daytona Beach. I'm gonna go more than likely to Main Street later on just to see what's going on over there. But guys, if you enjoy the content, just give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.